Okay, good morning, everyone. What's today, Megan?
Wednesday?
Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm a little stunad this morning. So, Megan was waiting for me, so we're broadcasting a little later. But we have a good topic for you today. So, welcome, Megan. We're talking
Thank
money
you.
management again. That's my favorite.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes. A term that I've heard come up a lot these last couple weeks with my clients and with other people is money story. Money story. And so trying to unpack some of that so we can get to the good stuff and the guts has been interesting.
Yeah, I talk a lot. I do a lot of money management training with my clients because hang-ups with money come from a lifetime of information that's being fed from your parents or from friends or who you hang around with or people you've liked or not liked. We make all these conclusions
Right.
about money and the importance, and we tie money to emotion way too much, right?
Mhm.
So tell me what you mean by, this is your topic. Be careful who you listen to when it comes to your money management. Tell
Yes.
us what we're talking about here.
So there are so many I forget the word for it, like phrases, you know, things that people say over and over again, but they don't really
Money
know the
doesn't grow
meaning
on
behind
trees.
it. Money doesn't grow on cheese, or cash is king. This one drives me crazy. Cash is
Cash.
king. Because on one side of it, I want to say, yes, absolutely, cash is king. But what most people mean when they say that is the wrong thing.
Tell me.
So when they're out of one side, on one side of their face, they're saying, "Hey, cash is king. You don't understand that? Well, you should look at your financial statements." As
Yeah,
if
I
your
look at my
financial
financial
statements,
statements and I'm like,
yeah, as if they
yeah,
tell you about your cash, right? Because
right.
your cash transactions are spread across your balance sheet and across your income statement. And if you don't know how to piece those two together, to see your cash and then add the extra layer on top of it of what the heck does this mean? Like, that's the most useless information. It's the most
So when they
useless
say
information.
cash is king in your business, they're actually talking about how much you have in your operating expense account, let's say, like being
Yeah.
fluid,
Yeah,
liquid, I mean.
or being
Yeah,
fluid like that. That's part of the meaning of, taking care of the cash that you have, giving it a job, doing the thing. But also the other side is like knowing what your options are,
right,
right?
right.
Because there might be a scenario where you're needing outside cash, or a scenario where you have so much cash. Here's another scenario that it needs something to do. It needs a job where it can go work harder for you passively than sitting in a bank account doing the thing, right? There are so many dynamics when it comes to cash is king. And the one that I see the most harmful is this middle one, where people are so scared to ask for a line of credit, or to go do fundraising, or to take money out of their business when it is lucrative. I'll give you an example. So a client has they're going to be doing a build out on a new lease, new space, right? And they had the assumption they had to have all of the cash in hand for the build out portion of this. Okay.
Right. But right. I mean, I could see them thinking they have to save before they do, is what you're
Right,
saying.
right, right. Which is a common, when people are super conservative with their cash, it's common. And there's no problem with that. But
Right.
when you are so narrow focused on this is the way it has to be, you can't see the forest for the trees of, you know what, maybe it's even better if I put that work money to work in my business by hiring people or expanding something. Whereas I can use a lease build out agreement, or I can use the bank's money over the next 5 years and pay for that lease build out. Because really, when is that space going to be used? Is it going to be used when that cash that you have sitting there is earned, in the past couple of years, or is it going to be used over the next 5 years?
To
When
earn the
you,
money.
as you earn the money that space is helping you earn, you're paying for it, right?
Correct. Correct.
So I want people to stop being afraid of asking for cash. Stop being afraid of asking for money, or not worthy. That's the one, like, oh, I'm just a little business. I can't ask for a line of credit. Like, that's just something big businesses do. We
So,
don't.
I mean, it's interesting to me because I don't look for anyone to take ever out a loan in order to finance. I'm definitely more of, let's see what you have. The one thing I do tell people to spend their cash on, if they even before they think they have enough, is often with staffing. But you're making a good point that if you need a new space also to make more money, why not look to borrow it, like you said?
Yes. 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 And to have your own bedrock, your own foundation of understanding what the cash can do for you in your business, what the plans are for it, how you want to give it a job, how your vision for the future matches up. It doesn't have to match up with the cash that you have in the bank now. There are other options out there, and being open to knowing what those options are and knowing why or why not, that is something for you, without the guilt, without the judgment that comes along with never go into debt. Well,
Yeah.
maybe that may be true for somebody else, but they do have completely different circumstances than you. So when you are listening to these money stories or to these things, consider the source, right? Like I used to work with a number of online business marketers, right? And they'd bring in like $600,000 a month, huge launches or whatever. And they'd be spending like $650,000 to make that launch a $600,000 launch, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so they're all about like, debt's awesome, debt's fine because look how it cash flows, da, 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 da. And they were getting their own money stores from other marketers that wanted their money.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like this big Ponzi scheme that keeps going, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
that's what you want to make sure you're not. Like where you're spending your money should be to make more money, at least in one scenario. It could
Mhm.
be where it's allowing you to make more money in the future. And it's okay to match what you're doing now with your vision of where you're going to be in the future.
Yeah, your money should be growing, like, right? Using money to make more money in the future. It should be used to protect you, to make sure that you are going to be okay now and in the future, and to reward yourself, to enjoy it,
It's
right?
so funny. I just got off a session with somebody that I said she's looking to possibly reduce her staff. And I'm like, what would be the purpose of that? Well, I'm paying a lot of money. I get it. You're paying a lot of money, but are you going to be able to reach your long-term goals, which in her case is a balanced life and making enough money to support her lifestyle? Can you do that if you get rid of somebody? And it was like, well, maybe not, but I'm paying them so much. Yeah, you're paying them so much because they're helping you get to your future goal.
Mhm.
And if you pull the plug now, you're going to be back to where you were before you hired me to teach you how to grow your business, right?
Yeah.
And make more
Yeah.
money. So it's a balance all the time. And I think people don't trust their own decisions.
Yes. So this is what I want people to do. When they tell themselves for the next week or so, when they get nervous at like grocery store checkout and they pull out their credit card and they get that little flutter in their tummy, or when they are considering investing in a program or hiring somebody, I want them to listen to that voice and give it a name. Like just name the fear that is coming along, that feeling that is coming along with your use of money. I shouldn't say fear. It might be a happy feeling. It might be something very confident. Great. Name it, write it down, just keep it. And so it has a resting place, right? We
Mhm.
want to give it a place to rest. And if it's something that's negative or something that just feels, think about where that tone came from. Where did that voice come from? Did it come from somebody who was aligned with your values? Did it come from someplace that's aligned with your vision? Did
Mhm.
it come from someplace that fully understands your specific situation? And if not,
Yeah, then don't take their advice.
yeah.
And I'm always like, people confide in me, obviously, as their coach, that I was speaking to my husband, or I was speaking to my wife, or I was speaking to my best friend, and they said this and that. I'm like, oh, does your husband also have the same business you have, an interior design business, a coaching business, or whatever? And they're like, well, no, but they've got experience in running a business. Okay, what field are they in? It's completely different, right? So
Mhm.
I'm like, just be careful who you're taking advice from. Or a spouse or a friend may say, you can't charge that much. That's ridiculous. Like, right? And you go, well, why can't I? I'm worth it, right? So be careful who you're taking your advice from, because their risk taking might be different than yours. Their goals are going to be different from yours. Their experience is different from yours, and they don't understand your business the way other
Yes.
people do.
And when you can start to filter those money conversations and give credence to the people who really have your best interest in mind, and not only have your best interest, but and understand what you are trying to do, then you can start taking it into consideration. Not saying that it's going to be 100% true, but take it into consideration against your own best judgment in what you know about your business.
Okay. Okay. That's what we're telling everyone to do. So tell them again what you want them to do this week.
I want them to really pay attention to their money feelings. When they're pulling out that credit card or paying that bill or receiving money from a client, whatever it is, pay attention to the feeling. And if you can't quite name it, just spend some time. Brene Brown, I love her series on Netflix about like naming your feelings, and like just write it down like, okay, yeah, that's what I was feeling. That's what I was feeling there. I'll have full confession for you. So when I was in college, I was married in college, and we were poor, like living on $800 a month with a baby.
Oh my God.
Poor. We were poor. And there was a time when I went to the grocery store and I pulled out my bank card, declined. I pulled out a credit card, declined. I pulled out another credit card, declined.
Oh my God, that could make me cry.
It's making me cry right now.
With a baby.
With a baby. And so like, even I've been working on this for years. I've had my husband, he has been doing all of our grocery shopping for like the last 15 years because I still have that lingering feeling of what happens if this gets declined? What do I do?
Yeah, you're post-traumatic stress at this
Right,
point.
right. Even knowing full well that it's fine. There's plenty of money there. There's plenty of credit there. If I was pulling out a credit card, it's going to go through that. Oh, I don't want to do this. Please don't look at me. The shame that comes with
right.
it.
If someone's in the line behind you, you're like self-conscious. Yeah. Even though you're not in the position anymore, you still, all those feelings come up, and it changes the way you make decisions for yourself going forward, especially if you're not cognizant of that feeling is triggering.
Yes.
Right. So when you're making money decisions, be really aware, soul search as to whether you're making those decisions based on fear of something that happened in the past, just a fear that you have, period, or whether you're really doing it in a proper pros and cons way with the ability to see if it ties to your future and helps you get there.
Yeah. And sometimes it's going to result in you getting to be really brave and do the big thing.
It's so funny. Oh my God. I can't wait to meet you in person at the IDS.
I'm so excited.
We're going to have so much fun. So anyone going to the IDS conference, or you should if you're not, because you'll meet Megan and I, and it'll be a lot of fun. So thank you, Megan, for going through this. I think that people's money mindsets really affect their entire life and their decisions. And until they get this down, they will never be free to run their business in a really nice, profitable way and enjoy the of their labor, the fruits of their labor, right?
Very
Why
good.
work if you're not going to be able to partially or fully support your lifestyle, right? If you want to do it as a hobby, I'm fine with that. But if you're running it as a business, then get in touch with your money story and don't listen to people who don't have the same knowledge, goals as you when it comes
filter.
All right. So we will be back in a month with more money management tips. Thank you so much, Megan.
You're welcome. Great to see you again, Nancy.
All right. Bye.